considering the next game I want to do a video on doesn't come out till later in the month, holy shit, it should be out now! Ahoy! Now if you're slightly underwhelmed, how dare you be? It's Princess Peach, goddammit! Now throughout its existence, the plot of most Mario games was always the same thing. It was a common joke back in old YouTube reviews about how, spoiler alert, the plot of every Mario game was. Okay, so this is for all the marbles. For 1 bajillion coins, in this most recent new Mario adventure, what was the basis of the plot? A. Bowser abducts Peach, B. Bowser captures Peach, C. Bowser kidnaps Peach, or D. Bowser steals Peach. You have 15 seconds. What the fuck? Princess Peach has always been the damsel in distress for Mario to rescue at the end of each adventure, with a few extremely rare exceptions here and there where Peach isn't kidnapped and we actually get to play as her. One instance is in Doki Doki Panic, where she was a selectable character, and another when she got a whole game to herself on the DS titled Super Princess Peach, which was a really simple yet fun platformer. I especially enjoyed the fact that the gimmick of the game was using Peach's powers of estrogen. However, in recent years, we have seen Peach getting more involved in the action, often not being kidnapped and helping out in the adventure. Examples being Mario 3D World and Mario Wonder. So it only felt right that sooner or later she'd finally get her own game on the Switch. And in a Switch Direct in 2023, we got the trailer for Princess Peach Showtime. That Nintendo Direct had to be my favorite because both my favorite women in gaming got new releases. Now while all my attention was spent guzzling over Lara and ignoring Mario vs Donkey Kong, I still had plenty of excitement left over for Super Princess Peach 2. Oh yeah, it's showtime. So, Princess Peach Showtime starts off with the greatest woman in gaming, besides her, Princess Peach. She's chilling outside her castle until she suddenly gets a pamphlet to go see a play at the Sparkle Theater. So, Peach takes a trip with a couple of her toads, and when she gets there, trouble starts brewing. An evil Phantom of the Opera type witch thing named Madame Grape seizes control of the theater and starts causing all sorts of trouble. And you know what? This plot premise really brought to my attention how much it must suck living in the Mushroom Kingdom. It seems like anytime anybody tries to do something, it always ends up being a scam. I bet you couldn't even order pizza without going on a 6-hour adventure. Anyway, Peach meets this crossbreed of stars and ribbons named Stella, who acts as our Luma per se. And together Peach and Stella must go to every play and save it by taking the role of a kidnapped lead act. Now something new the game introduced are these little creatures called Theets. They are the Payantas of Princess Peach Showtime, acting as the adorable and severely charming pedestrians in all the madness. Like the flower from Mario Wonder, they sometimes have side commentary that is just giddy and fun, which helps add to the game's overwhelming charm. Now, when it comes to playing the game, we start off on the first floor with 4 options of plays, and once we complete all the plays and knock out the boss battle, we get access to the next floor of the theater with a whole new batch of plays and rinse repeat. It's very similarly structured like Super Mario 64. When we select a play, we go into it and see what trouble Madame Grape is causing to disrupt the play. But the plot in each scenario isn't, oh, she f***ed up the light fixture, or the Sour Bunch kids are harassing the actors and we have to stop them 20 times. Instead, anytime you enter the themed plays, it's almost like you're transported into the actual world and solving the cinematic issues. Like the futuristic Space Ranger Captain Marvel type play, the Sour Bunch are portraying aliens abducting the Theets and we gotta save them. In the Sweets Festival play, all the cookies and cake are stolen by the Sour Bunch kids. Mr. President, we have to label these men as domestic terrorists! And now we have to make more cookies and cakes to replenish the ones that were stolen. Or with the Law & Order type show, we as a detective must simply solve a crime using puzzles and clues. The way the game turned itself into the actual world of the plays where everyone is buying into it while at the same time you see fun little aspects of production like strings on the fake horse or moving set pieces in the background, exiting stage right, or really fun flashy pose moments adds a lot of whimsicality to the game. It's kind of like how the Rugrats would sometimes have episodes where the babies would go on these epic adventures all in their imagination, or any episode of the Backyardigans really. Maybe the psychological correlation is why I like this game so much. God, I miss being 3. Ugh. So anyway, let's get to the gameplay. When starting off in each play, we start as basic Peach, who has a spin attack that's very similar to Mario Galaxy. The spin attack is used to defeat enemies and also motivate any sad and depressed Theets into shape and give them energy. I need that. Now the main reason we go into all these plays is because the lead actors of each show, the Sparklers, have all been kidnapped. So Peach must take the role of them as a sort of understudy. We do this by finding a stage ramp that turns into a different type of Peach that gives us different abilities, which I will go through. Sword Fighter Peach appears in the medieval shows. Her gameplay simply turns the game into a hack and slash where we must plow through enemies and counter attacks. It's good stuff. Playing as Pastry Chef Peach feels more like playing Cooking Mama mini-games. It's honestly just baking cookies and decorating cakes. And if it sounds like I'm calling it dull, I'm not. It's intense, some of the cookie baking, kinda like that Overcooked game that was trending a few weeks back. Plus, the attitude of Pastry Chef Peach is truly a treat, because I'm someone who has worked with pastry chefs, and even though they make some of the most liveliest desserts, they are sometimes the grumpiest fucking people. Ninja Peach has a bit more platforming going on in the sense of wall jumping and stealthily maneuvering around enemies. Haha, look, she puts up leaves and shrubbery, kinda like Naughty Bear. I enjoyed it even though playing it kept giving me nagging memories of Miramasa the Demon Blade, but I do wish they made stealth more prevalent here. It's actually a bit too easy to get past everybody. Detective Peach was another one I really liked. You had to solve mysteries using clues and talking to the locals to find where the thieves went. It was a cute puzzle platformer, kind of a fun mix of LA Noire and Zack and Wiki. Figure Skater Peach was an ice level where she is constantly on the move, and as much as I want to groan at the f***ing temperature, it was surprisingly solid. And I am actually happy it's here. For a game based on theater, having a Princess Peach Showtime on ice feels like a no-brainer. Dashing Thief Peach I always forget about until I start playing as her, which I don't get why. It might be because I just don't care for Persona 5. It's more platforming and stealth, but this time with a grapple hook. But the platforming reminds me a lot of My Friend Pedro. Cowgirl Peach mostly has these fun horse riding sequences, but when off our trusty steed, she has quite the mean lasso that she uses to grab objects or enemies and send them. Hang on, I got a video game comparison here somewhere. That one minigame from Mario Party 8. Mermaid Peach I say I enjoyed, but I don't know how because I don't care to play it. You swim up and down like Echo the Dolphin and you use Peach's vocals to guide fish and have them do your bidding for you. And at some point it turned into a rhythm game too. It's not the most fun Peach, but I understand why I think positively of it.
It's because this game's all about psychology today.
Doing the mermaid plays reminds me of my favorite video game of all time, Majora's Mask, and being at Great Bay. Seriously, a fish-based music band has one of their members go missing, so we take the part of said musical member to perform a concert, and at some point we ride a turtle. At this point I think the game might be plagiarizing. Mighty Peach is also very similar to the other beat-em-up type Peaches, though she has some very fun escort type missions where we use our super strength to help navigate the thieves. Plus some awesome spaceflight missions where we beat the shit out of boulders and UFOs and even grab them and so long King Bowser them. And lastly we have Kung Fu Peach, which I didn't like. The gimmick and the scenery is great, but the gameplay itself is uninteresting to me. The beat-em-up Kung Fu doesn't feel too different from anything else we've done up to this point, and the platforming element of spinning on these poles is a bit clunky to use. But if you pull it off in combat, it does feel pretty sweet. But it is my least favorite of the Peaches. There was also a Final Form Peach, but I'm not gonna spoil it. You really should see it for yourself.
Having all the different types of Peaches helped the game keep constantly going. The difference in platforming and sometimes even the gameplay between each show helped keep the game refreshing.
Each of the Peaches got 2 levels, and once you complete both levels for a certain transformation, you have access to a door in the basement of the theater where we play a 3rd level to free the original actor and work together with them. Kinda like the character doors in Mario 64 DS.
Now, would I describe Princess Peach Showtime as a difficult game? Well, no in the sense of beating it, but trying to get all those sparkle gems is definitely tough. Hello? Oh, I didn't talk about what sparkle gems are.
Sparkle gems act as the star/sprite/moon/catshine/wonder seeds of the game, but they behave more like the moons in Mario Odyssey, as you get them while completing the story beats, and you also find extra by exploring the environment and finding secret areas. We do have a dedicated button for striking a pose, which is fitting for the theme of the game, but its actual purpose is to find secret rooms to complete little tasks to get coins or sparkle gems, kinda like how it was in Mario 3D World. So I really like Princess Peach Showtime. Is it because of earlier mentioned Pavlovian connections of watching Nick Jr.? Is it because of the fact that Mario vs. Donkey Kong lowered my expectations so much so that it set up this game to steal the show? Is it because I want to marry my air fryer?
Honestly, no. Princess Peach Showtime is just an overall really pleasant game. I genuinely can't sit here and think of a single complaint I have for it.
Maybe the price could eat some shit. But at this point in 2024, I feel like complaining about Switch game prices is as useful as howling at the moon. It's pointless, it's dumb, and it annoys your neighbors. Princess Peach Showtime felt like just the right length for a game like this. The game was straightforward, which was perfect for some relaxed fun. The game looks gorgeous, as does Peach herself, and the overall whimsical tone just made the game a pleasant experience. Plus, the boss battles are pretty great. At one point, it reminded me of a God of War boss battle, which lately in the world of Mario is huge f***ing praise. To wrap up, I think Princess Peach Showtime is a very quirky and eccentrically fantastical game. It's quite the unique experience, as long as we ignore the fact that I spent the entire video comparing it to other games.
And that was Princess Peach Showtime. Was all the waiting worth it? Yes, actually. I really liked the game. Now, is it one of the greatest video experiences of all time? No. But no one expects it to be. It's a short, feel-good title that throws a lot of whimsicality at you. When I finally beat the game, it took a couple of days of coping to get over that the fun was over. I absolutely adored the feats. They are now my favorite creature in the Mario world, and I pray that Nintendo includes them in future titles. This game is something I think everyone should give a go, as long as they adjust their expectations accordingly.
Ahoy! Did somebody order a Howlin' Jeff's Totally Not a Scam pizza?
Oh, thank God. I know I thought this was gonna be a scam.
No, it's worse.